Everything's under control. Sorry, folks.
We got to definitely do it. Like, and this is the thing too with Pandora. As much as I like Batu, and I do like Batu, I'm not a fan of the timeline. I think the timeline is garbage. I open up that they need to get rid of all that, and I think they're working on that. Actually, we're starting to see them with Mando coming and Boba Fett and all that. So the timeline's going away, I think. But in terms of like the aesthetics of the actual land, I think it's really, really solid. The problem though with Batu is that it doesn't really have any of like that, like those water features, right? Like Pandora does. Like when you walk through Pandora, there's like these massive cascading waterfalls, and it just takes it to like a whole nother level, right? Imagine if they built a Star Wars land, even if it was just Batu, but they had that kind of element in it, these massive waterfalls and things like that. I mean, it would just add so much to the land. I don't know. In a lot of ways, Pandora kind of curb stomps Batu. I mean, at least aesthetically, I think that it does a much better job with the kinetic energy and just kind of like not. It's not like a one note kind of land. It's got there's greenery, there's rock work, there's waterfall, right? It's kind of like everything.
It is, and you get a little taste of that in like the weirdest place, the queue for Rise, and you only see it for like a split second because very rarely does the line back up that long. At least now to a point where you can actually kind of appreciate it. And even then, you're going so fast. That one point in Rise of Resistance is the only place with an actual water feature in the entire land. It is the most bizarre choice, I think. Oh, I think we may have lost OG. Oh. You still there? Okay, you're paused there. Oh. It's the weirdest thing. Why in the world is the only water feature in the entire land in like some small section of a queue where you don't even have a really good vantage point unless you're going through Lightning Lane or Fast Pass, as it was originally intended? It's very, very weird. I would have much rather taken like you have the X-Wing or you have the A-Wing there or whatever. I would have much rather had those removed in favor of some more water features or more ambient features in order to kind of liven up the land in a similar way that they did with Pandora. And unfortunately, they didn't do that. And maybe they were intending for the Bantha attraction to add some of that kinetic energy and just breathe a little bit more life into it and provide some kind of feature like the water features of Pandora, but alas, that didn't happen.
No, it didn't. I was watching actually the other night with my fiance. I was watching the Walt Disney World 50th special with Whoopi Goldberg. Not the best choice of hosts. Disney. I don't know. Not my favorite. Just a personal thing. But overall, the special was pretty awesome. Overall, it's pretty cool. But they kind of got into Batu. I think it was on that special. It might have been the behind the scenes attractions thing on Disney Plus. I don't know. We've been kind of binging this stuff lately, so it's all kind of running together. But anyway, they got into how they used the actual R2-D2 unit, like the footing of that unit, from the original movies.
Yes.
In Batu, like the cement work, like when you're walking through the land, you see like the tread marks and what have you.
Yeah.
Some of those tread marks are from the actual R2 unit from the original trilogy.
Absolutely, they are.
I did not know that. That's pretty dope.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the story about it is great, too, because they were actually able to get their hands on the original R2-D2 prop and actually take molds of the original tread, right? And then scan those in and actually make a custom, like, machine almost that could replicate them, to the exacting degree and detail required, and kind of have that kind of custom-made machine make those tread marks. So it is R2-D2 making those tread marks in that way. It was a fascinating amount of effort and resources that actually were put into it just for that small detail that people are just going to walk over and not actually realize if they don't know the story. But it's just that kind of attention to detail in Batu. It really is all over the place. It's just maybe not necessarily capitalized on to the degree that maybe they believed it would be, with some of the shortcomings of the land. People think what if, and unfortunately don't admire, I think, to the degree that they wanted, what is there, because there are shortcomings that kind of that kind of leave people hanging in some way.
Yeah, and Drunk follows up with they took all that stuff out of Batu East because they put it in Star Cruiser set. That's a great point, Drunk. We talked about this, Dre, I think in a past video, how like Mando and Grogu, they're coming to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Boba Fett, we saw Boba when we were there just a couple weeks ago.
We did.
That was dope. That was really
awesome.
But none of that stuff is coming to Batu East. And we were like kind of racking our brains going like, what's going on? And then I think it was you that suggested they're saving that stuff for the upcharge Star Cruiser.
Right.
Anaheim doesn't have Star Cruiser, so they don't have that option. Florida does. And I think that's really shitty. I'm sorry. I think it's shitty.
It's terrible. It really is. There shouldn't be that kind of discrepancy between these two lands that are essentially mirror, images of each other. It's completely bizarre why they would do that, and it's for monetization, and honestly, we were saying that before with some of the more advanced features that the land was supposed to have. They saved them all and they put them behind a paywall in the form of the Star Cruiser. It's like, why? It's entirely frustrating. It's gosh, the timeline thing, and now they're even, if you saw the original press release for the inclusion of of Boba Fett and Fennec Shand and Mandalorian and Grogu, it was like, oh well, the people in Batu, the people in Galaxy's Edge, they can't interact with these people, so we got to have these people over here, and we got to maintain aspects of this timeline. It's just like, why are you doing this? Why are you setting your own limitations on a franchise you own and have full control of? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's so frustrating.
It's annoying to the point because it's like Disney will nickel and dime you every way they can.
Yes.
But then this is something that like they're leaving money on the table. Like this stuff, like, could you imagine if you had Anakin Skywalker and Kenobi in Batu? I mean, the line would be around the fucking block, or if you had Han, Luke, and Leia, right? Even like Drunk was mentioning the Star Cruiser. Imagine if you had an original trilogy itinerary cruise where it was all OT. What if you had a prequel cruise where it's Anakin Skywalker, Kenobi, Grievous, right? Padme. Yes. This is stuff that it's like money. Like literally, you're leaving money on the table, and they're like, nope, timeline.
It's oh my gosh. And it's like, it's so frustrating because you have all these great characters. You have all these great things that have been built up for decades and generations. And people have been wanting to see these characters their entire lives. And we're going to keep them out because of this arbitrary thing that we have to maintain for what exactly? What's the upside to it? Have you met anybody, OG, that's like, oh, you know what? I really hope they keep that timeline because, jolly, that really, knocks my socks off that they actually implemented this thing to begin with. Nobody actually says this.
No one
Let me shout it from the hills. Let me shout it. Get rid of the timeline, please. There you go. Hopefully they hear that, right? It's so ridiculous. It's so frustrating. If they had Mando Luke Skywalker in the land right now, I'd be driving to California right now. I mean, right. I need to see that, right? But no, we can't do it. Can't do it because we got to have Rey and Kylo for the 50 billionth time. It is so frustrating. It is so frustrating.
Yes. Yeah, no, you're 100% right, brother. It is really annoying. And Avengers Campus does it so right. Avengers Campus doesn't give a fuck, dude. Avengers Campus will have 15 different Moon Knights.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't care, man.
They don't care. They'll have every single costume the week it was released for Loki.
Right.
But no, I'm sorry. You wanted Grogu in your Star Wars Galaxy's Edge there? Oh no, we're not going to give that. And if we do, we're not going to give it to Batu East.
Right.
Ridiculous! What is this? Like what? What is it? Is it a company that wants to make money, or is it not? I can't figure it out anymore. OG, I can't figure it out. Explain to me. I just can't. I can't do it.
It blows my mind. It blows my mind that they're stepping over $1 to pick up a dime.
Are they even picking up dimes at this point? I mean, it limits what you can even sell in the land because we're going to have these arbitrary timelines. That's the crazy thing. I don't even know if they're tripping over dimes at this point, or having the expression that you used. I think it's pennies at this point. I don't think there's any monetary benefit to this whatsoever.
Yeah,
and it's completely ridiculous. Chapek, Josh DeMaro, somebody get in there and just say like, hey, you know what, WDI or Lucasfilm or whoever's calling these shots right here, you know what, you, okay, you. All right, we're going to get these characters in here, and we don't really care. You know why? Because while you have your little pet projects in the form of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge,
it's our land. We paid for it, and we can do what we want.
That's what they got to do.
Exactly. Well said. Well said.
Sector 2. Malfunction in Sector 2. All droids will be shut down for reloading of labor programs. Stand by for power disconnect.